Testing. Okay. This is Smo Love True here. It's the 7th of February 2019, and it's 12:06 in the afternoon. Let's see, I had, this is one of those requests, not that others have requested, this is my request to the community. Let's see. For housekeeping, then we'll get to the updates. I'm in a situation where I have, I need to leave and go back home. My mistake is that I took all my money and I transferred it over to my son. And let's see, so I can't do it on my own. And I don't even have anything set up. This is, I got to look into how I would be able to receive funds, but it's more like I need an airfare ticket to get out of here. In the video description, I'm going to leave my contact details, and let's see. So it's always difficult for me to ask for anything, much less ask for liability from others. That's what fiat currency is about. So, yeah, but it all works in reverse. So if this has been a helpful channel, please consider making contact. Okay, so now in terms of updates, I'm going to be working backwards, and let me actually share my screen. Okay, hold on. Oh boy. Okay, so this is a very common scene, and this is the Matrix end scene where Neo calls to the machines. So let's see, can we get bigger? Oh, go back, please. And move out of the way. Okay. So here we have Neo making a phone call into, let's see, where are we here? Yeah, that's where he's basically calling the machines. Now, this is dated September 18th, 1999. Now, if we take away the year, we're actually looking at September 18th. Could it be September 2018? So what I have pulled up here is actually this video. Let's see, this video actually was done in September 17th, 2018. The Bush Senior, let's see if I can get that. Bush Senior court docket, and there's actually a link here. So I want to pull that up. Okay, so this is the indictment for George Herbert Walker Bush. And here we see that the defendant George H. Walker, George H.W. Bush changed several national mining laws, including laws in South Africa, in full violation of FCPA. Now, we can go further down the docket to see, it's like, what is this? This is obviously, this is an annotated docket, and we see there's a lot of redactions here, not so well done, but there are allegations here. Just want to get to where, let's see. Oh, okay, here we go. This is it. In the Arkansas Supreme Court for the Eastern District of Arkansas, criminal action for full punitive damages, common grand jury demanded concerning money laundering, conspiracy to violate Logan Act, and human trafficking under RICO. And this is actually I basically copied this and used this to help someone else with their court case, and it seems to be pretty key. Anyway, I will put in the video description the links to these videos that I'm including here. Now, again, when we go back to the Matrix having put this together, it goes back to 1999. Just cross out that year and think, okay, month and year. That's September 2018 as opposed to the 18th day of September. And the next thing, because we're here in February, this is the opening scene for when Trinity enters the Matrix. Let's just get to the point here. Okay. Okay. So here, what we're looking at is we're seeing the opening scene for the Matrix, where Trinity is in, she logs in, or makes this call on February 19th, 1998. Now this is 1 year prior to Neo making his call to the machines. Now again, cross out that 1998, and go back to February 19. And here we are. We're in February 2019. And, excuse me, let me pause here. Okay, let's go back to screen share here. Okay, so in order to understand paperwork, legalese, the whole court game, it's not only necessary to turn things inside out, go at it backwards, but also upside down. Now, because we're linear thinkers, most are, it is to comprehend that what happens at the end it happened already in order to create this opening scene. And we're at the opening scene, maybe because we just woke up to this, or let's see. In order for us to get to this point where we actually are reuniting with our family, the end had to happen first. George Bush Sr. had to be indicted first before we could finally meet our family, right? And that's just what the dates are about. Okay, we don't need that, but I will keep this here. So this whole thing about taking a look at dates and trying to make sense of it, or seeing what sense can be made out of it, it's significant to recognize there are benevolence all over the place, and they do what they can to help us along. Now, I have a playlist where I'm actually working with music alchemy. Get me out of the way here. There we go. Okay, good. So now, music alchemy, as I've come to know her, she's someone you want on your team. She's tiny, but she kicks ass so hard with a studded steel toe boot. It's like you can't lose when you've got someone like that on your team. And that's the best analogy, the visceral analogy that I can think of, and that's music alchemy. So I just want to give a big shout out to Music Alchemy for getting me on track, for trying to, from last fall. Now, it's really important to recognize what is all of this about. What I'm talking about is contracts. We're all here performing contracts for each other, with each other, and it is consensual. I mean, I would have to have a contract with my son in order to be a portal to bring him into the world. And we had a great conversation just before I made this video, or actually this morning, his nighttime. And I'm trying my best to explain to him it's the wireless network that's influencing and affecting the results. So he's talking about twins. They're genetically identical, and one is in a controlled situation, and the other one is getting the placebo. Or one's getting the medication and the other's getting the placebo. So I told him, well, it doesn't make any sense. There's no such a thing as a controlled environment because the frequencies are going to be affecting this, and especially in a laboratory. Now, if they're in their home, one of the twins can be up on the ground floor, on higher, they get affected by the radiation, then the control group should be down in the basement. And they do their own thing separately. Then we can say that ground zero is not affecting the people because it's neutralizing the radiation. It's neutralizing the frequencies and the spectrum. Can't really make a phone call from a cellar that's 3 stories down, unless there's some kind of special access. Now, let's see. So I am going to work my way backwards. Think about what was happening on the week of the 20th, 21st of January. That was only 2 weeks ago, right? And that would have been the time that these intentions that had been set into action that started back in September with the harvest moon, when Bush Sr. had those indictments done on him. There have been these 3 months that have been working up momentum, and to reach January 20th, 21st was that full moon, or 20th, depending on where you are on the planet. That would have been the time to connect with family. That whole week, James Gillian had talked about January 23rd. And January 23rd is, it's actually that week was when my partner was away in China. And similar to when he met me in 2012, he was just having all of these deja vus. And then that confirmed to me that if he's having deja vus as a Swissman over in China, there is this connection, this interesting connection. I still sort of, I've had to put my steak tartare, playlist on hold because I've got to return home and get out of Dodge here. So that this connection can happen during that time is significant. Now, this week I actually had plans for 2 talks. Let me come into screen share here. It's actually related to this one here. One of my chats was for this one. Yeah, this one here. Ritters Van New, and a commenter had made contact, very powerful, and we're going to do a series and take a look at this. It's in Dutch. He is Dutch, and we're going to take a look at that. I've actually created a playlist for that on another channel. This is one of the chats that I had to cancel. The other one that I had to cancel is, yeah, this one here, with Tony P. And that was going to be for Sunday, this Sunday, but like I said, I've got to prepare for relocation. So that'll be a fun one. Let's see. Okay. Now, the reason why I'd actually, I just want to go back to Ritters Van New, because someone had made a comment here. Let's see. Someone made a comment, and he mentioned, let's see, I think Bernard is unreliable. And so I don't do so much searches as I do go through content. And you can find consistencies within content, recent content, and that's how I'm able to sift through the factions. It's not about research, it's about écouter. It's about listening, right? So when we come to this channel, International Tribunal for Natural Justice, I believe it's Catherine Horton had talked about this image here. It's an artichoke. It's an artichoke. And then we've also got this other symbol, an infinity sign, which incidentally happens to be the same symbol for the new Federal Reserve logo. So the latest upload is from Nilu Shardhari. And the only reason why this channel kind of gets a red flag from me is because of her interview with, let's see, no, where, okay, I need to share here. Because of her interview with Romola D. Now, Romola D, she puts out good content. I like her stuff. In this particular interview, Romola D is speaking with Nilu Berry and Lee Kant on Swiss Indo, Gold for All, and Banker's Nose. And here I've made a comment here. The UN incorporated in Java, Indonesia in 1945. This is a quote coming from here. Let's listen here. Oh, sorry, let me unmute and turn you up here. And go back here.
President of the UN, but that was kept secret.
Oh, okay.
The United Nations was incorporated in Indonesia, in Java, by...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was incorporated and set up on the 17th of August, 1945. Just, the war was still occurring.
Okay. So that's Lee Kant who had made that comment, and I timestamped it, and then I take a look at Nilu's channel. And with her channel, what I have found is Ashtar Command is associated with the Giza intelligence. Swiss Indo is associated with Hetheran Tucci Jaraf's case, and pushing the Treasury Direct accounts, the TDAs, from the summer of 2017. That it goes back to my Federal Reserve press release video. That it appears to be a trap, or it could be a trap. But let's take a look at Nilu's channel. So this is Nilu. She also has another channel called Blue Lotus, and this is the Ashtar teleconference and she's talking with Lord Ashtar. Let's see here. Go back.
Hello, everyone. Good evening and welcome.
Okay. So this is kind of how my process goes, looking at content, questioning, sort of, it's like things are in a little filing cabinet. I can pull up some nugget, and it really helps to have the comments. Let's see, I got my comment playlist here. Yeah, so it's in my comment playlist there. Okay. So the next thing that I wanted to share, which goes back to Ronald Bernard, is that it actually goes back to the comment that I had seen. And so when I take a look at the International Tribunal for Natural Justice, the next thing that I do is I look at the about. And anything happening before the end of the fiscal year in 2016, this is basically an Obama faction, right? People are resources, and it's important to realize that there are factions behind the labels that are putting out the disinformation, and they're repackaging themselves in such a way that when you find a detail like January 7th, 2016, you realize this is still in the fiscal year, let's see, the US fiscal year active for the Obama administration. And if we take a look at my channel, Small Love True, we'll see the about here. Okay, October 7th, 2016, still 2016, 1 month before the US presidential elections, but after the fiscal year had ended for this 2016, right? September 30th is the end of the fiscal year. Okay. Okay, so I think we're going to like this piece of information. This one. Okay, here we have actually, this may be a little premature. What I did want to go over is let's see, what was happening in December. So in December is when I decided I wasn't going to go to my partner's family holiday celebration. Here we go. So I really wanted to just be near a body of water. And with that, being here in Switzerland, it's really challenging. The only place I could think of was Rhine Falls. But Rhine Falls in the winter, it's not as impressive as it is perhaps after a big rain in the fall or the spring. And so that feeling of wanting to be near water was really, I want to go home. And because of the holiday rush, I didn't have that chance. So when we go back to November, November is when I had, sorry, this is sort of my external memory here, is looking at my YouTube channel. November is when I had created a series of videos for Tony P, and it was about the frequencies, the wireless network. Let's see, this is okay. So we're actually getting back to what this thing happened here, which is Swiss bunker. Something I can't quite explain what it was. Was it the 5G rollout, or was that actually why all the light workers were brought here to, or wherever anybody happens to be? It's not just here in Switzerland. It's like wherever one happens to be, you're there for a reason. And my being here just 200 meters away from an antenna transmitter, it's significant. I was to experience this and be able to report on it, and the Swiss bunker as ideal shielding, and that's a raw data or raw audio. I had to listen to that again, and it was like, it sounds distressing. It was, because I had Tony's information and could work with it and troubleshoot whatever was going on. There is relief down in the ground. Ground zero neutralizes radiation. Having ridden a bike from here over to find the Rothschild's place, IM place in Zug, it was to see this 8-sided pyramid right in the driveway, and I realized that thing is so huge. It's for underground space, underground living space, and that particular 8-sided pyramid, it's could feasibly be a healing area that neutralizes, or how pyramids work is there are ions, negative ions, and they, in the pyramid structure, the negative ions actually increase in concentration down at the bottom. So to be at the bottom of a pyramid, there's a lot of healing frequencies, or there's a lot of neutralization of the frequency bombardment that's happening. So that would explain why in certain houses you can see these kind of glass ceiling pyramids that are above the roof, usually in an office space. They actually have it over at the Catholic Church by the train station. Anyway, take a look into that. That's pretty interesting all by itself. So when I come back here, things sort of, I need to get back home before this window of opportunity, or this portal, closes. And it's going to close February 15th, more or less. Or you could say February 14th, right? Valentine's Day is always so special. So I've got a week to get myself together, but I've actually got a shorter deadline because my partner returns tomorrow night, Friday night, from his business trip. And he's been talking about therapy. And I do not consent to undergoing therapy. Because once in, I mean, they're going to find a lot of things wrong with me, right? They'll be asking about my diet and doing blood tests, and I can't let that happen. So ideally, it'd be great for me to slip away, disappear, but I'm doing everything I can to clean up after myself, right? So that's where I accidentally deleted all the contacts on the phone. And I let him know right up front, oh my gosh, I have accidentally deleted all of the phone contacts. And he said, oh, okay. Does it feel good? I said, yeah, it does. We only really need to basically add your dad's contact back in the phone. He's the only one that calls here. This kind of goes back to what is the Year of the Pig. The Year of the Pig is about, as I've learned from music alchemy, it's about getting rid of the old cycle. So we have a whole year to clean out and get rid of the old cycle. And that's where this Zimbabwe follows the Chinese New Year. So Chinese New Year is January 25th. That's the year of the rat, 2020. And Music Alchemy had also brought to my attention this Saturn conjunct Pluto in Capricorn, and that happens the 12th of January, 2020. Now, what she mentioned, and I took note of it, she said, Pluto conjunct, or Saturn conjunct Pluto in Capricorn, and I think that's 22 degrees, at 22 degrees. 22 has always been my number. I used to think it was 2, and my poor son said, yeah, 2 is your number. Because I used to say, no, it's two twos. Like 2 squared is 4. It's actually 4. Music Alchemy's location, address is 22. So essentially what this Saturn conjunct Pluto, it's about what is true and what is lasting. And that's the beginning of this. So a lot of auspicious dates coming up, and this is where the Year of the Rat comes in on the 25th of January 2020. And Zimbabwe is following the Chinese New Year. Still sort of taking a look at my notes and seeing, trying to make sense of it. This is with my steak tartare playlist. Okay, so I hope the volume's a little better on this. Yeah, let me see if I've got any other notes here. Okay. So, actually, let me just stop here. Okay, so I hope this finds you all well. I look forward to going back home. And where is home? Home happens to be the land that I was born on, and that's North America. Mission completed here in Switzerland. Success, and it's time to go home, everybody. Okay, Small Love True out for now.